It was during a short period of time where I actually wasn't on the radio, which I think is a blessing. I would have had a hard time. I've got a really emotional voice and a quiver naturally there, and if something's going on, you're going to know it. I can't hide it. But I was working for Citibank and used to get up just before 6 a.m. and turn on Casey Smith. He was on Channel 8. And they were talking about a small plane crashing into one of the Twin Towers. So they said, let's go to a live shot. And that's when the second plane went in. So I went in, got my husband up, told him what was going on, got ready for work, and I would go to work just after 7 at Citibank. And by the time I got there, they had locked security down tighter than I'd ever seen. And apparently that's because the FBI had identified the Long Island facility in the New York area for Citibank as the 4th top terror target. So they locked it down. We went in and tried to do our job anyway. And one of the coworkers on my team, her son was a pilot at Nellis and actually was told to get in his plane, and she said he was carrying nuclear-topped missiles. I'd never heard that before. So he took out of there. Obviously, she was really distracted. We got her out as quickly as we could and said, go home with your family. And we carried on, and it was just surreal. That's the only word that just keeps popping into my mind. We actually got out a transistor radio and put it between our desks to listen to see what was going on. And they were looking for that plane that eventually ended up going down in Pennsylvania. And it's the only time that I ever took what's called voluntary time off. By that afternoon, I took VTO and said, I really just want to go home. I need to get away from this, check in with my family. I think we all wanted to check in with our families that day. And it changed everything. I think this far down the road, don't you kind of remember how all of us as Americans, even through the tragedy and the shock, we had this amazing sense of togetherness, like we were all one people. And with all of the stuff going on in Washington all the time, you're hearing about this side, that side, all the different opinions. For a little while, that wasn't an issue. It was the fact that we were all Americans together, and we were feeling the same feelings. And that was a good thing that came out of a really bad day. I think that we feel little brief moments on a 4th of July when we're all together in a big group and we're watching the fireworks and we're feeling our pride in our country. But it doesn't match the togetherness that we felt after 9/11.